Hey guys, it is Sunday evening, and this is Michelle with Fun in Key West and with Out of Here Travel. And I just thought I'd pop in and say, hey, how you doing? It's Sunday. Just thought I'd enjoy a cocktail with you, and I hope that you all are enjoying your Sunday evening. But we're talking about a haunted Key West and a haunted places you all can go. And you know what? I got to thinking about it. There are a lot of fun things to do in Key West and all these other islands, places that we talk about. And so part of that conversation is the haunted side. It's the haunted side of Key West. It's the haunted side of, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, all of those places. And it's one of those things that have always intrigued me. And I don't know about you, but the haunted side seems to have always intrigued me in terms of what you can see, what's going on, and the things that you can check out. So I have to be a little bit of a confession here. I don't like haunted houses. I don't like to be scared, but I do like to hear and see about all of these exciting haunted things that you can check out. So that's not something that's too creepy to me. I don't know why, but anyway, Key West is one of the first places that you probably, that I checked out from a haunted perspective. I've been to Gettysburg and all of that, but Key West has this interesting vibe. When I did a little bit of research, there are certain things that need to happen to have a place be haunted. And that is, of course, a history. And something that lets the spirits move. Water. So some of those destinations we're going to talk about tonight have a lot to do with that. But Key West has so many ways to experience the haunted side. So you can go on a walking tour. You can walk with a local for about, 2 hours, and you get to hear all of the cool stories, see the houses, and visit those places. Maybe go on a haunted pub tour. That's a cool thing to do. Or there's Ghost and Gravestones bus that you can head on, and it's more of a theatrical performance. And they show you around Old Town. You get to check out all the haunted locations, and then head out on your own to check them out and see what you can see. But now, so you used to be able on the Ghosts and Gravestones tours, head out to the East Martello. Well, David Sloan, and I think you've heard him talk on our podcast, has now started a Meet the Robert the Doll experience over at the East Martello. And over there, you actually get to see the East Martello at night. It's a small private group, and you get to meet Robert the Doll. Now, there's some folklore out there that Robert the Doll was the inspiration for Chucky. No, not really. But Robert the Doll has his own interesting history, and it's worth checking out. So, working with David Sloan on that, so let us know if that's something that you're interested in checking out from that perspective. But here's the thing. Have you ever seen anything spooky or an orb if you've ever been to any of these places? Drop your, in the comments. Tell me you're here. Tell me what you've seen and what you thought. But some haunted locations in Key West, obviously, is the East Martello, where Robert the Doll is, and his original home, which is the Artist House. So that's the house that you walk by, and it has the purple trim and the purple shutters. Also, if you get to experience it, the Hard Rock Cafe. That's another haunted location. The Banyan Tree. So if you walk down on Whitehead Street, there's the Banyan Tree Resort. And there are stories of hearing children running around the Banyan Tree at night. And of course, there's no children out there. So if you've ever stayed at the Banyan Tree and heard voices, let us know. Fort Jefferson, if you get the opportunity to head out to the Dry Tortugas and camp out there, if you ever listen to Kim Stamps and her southernmost travel station, you get to hear how they talked about those ghost stories that go on out at Fort Jefferson. Hemingway's reported to have been seen at his house. Pauline's reported to be seen outside smoking a cigarette. Of course, Captain Tony's you go into, and of course, the Lady in Blue was hung in there, and that's the story. And the folk tale is that you can sometimes see the Lady in Blue. And of course, the Key West Cemetery and the Audubon House. Sometimes you get to see the captain there. And of course, St. Paul's Episcopal Church Cemetery, not as big as the larger cemetery, but that's a place. So, okay, so we're talking Key West, and you're like, hey, Michelle, but this is an island state of mind travel insider group. What else is there out there but Key West? Well, there's some really cool haunted locations, and these are on the top 10 list of the most haunted cities, not locations, but cities. So if you're here watching, let me know, drop a text. Tell me if you've ever been to a haunted city, not a haunted house, but a haunted city. Because, I think there's something really cool about being able to check out the local history. So on the list, if you've not been there, is Charleston, South Carolina. Now, of course, Charleston, South Carolina is also known to be a foodie town, and you've got the trolley cars and the horse carriages, and it has all this Southern charm. It's got history and pirates and voodoo. And according to Mr. Google, there are more than 20 haunted locations in Charleston, South Carolina. So obviously a place to check out. What you can do while you're there is, we can look at getting you on a horse carriage tour at night, going through the historic district, checking out all that stuff. And then you get to see all kinds of interesting things. If you're here, obviously let me know that you're here. I can see who all's here. And you can also check out some other haunted tours that you can do. You can go on a walking tour. Of course, every place has a haunted walking tour. You can go check out the graveyard at night. You can check out an old city jail. What's interesting is I was doing all my research was old city jails seem to be an ongoing theme about places to see and to stop by. So Mike, glad to see you're here. You can go on a cruise through the water in Charleston, South Carolina, and check out the haunted locations. And of course, most places offer either a pub tour or a brew tour, and South Carolina obviously has that as well. What I found interesting was in doing my research that the Old City Jail in Charleston, South Carolina, was housed the first female serial killer. Didn't know that. Thought that was interesting. The Battery Carriage House, people swear up and down when they stay there that there's a man that comes into their room and sits with them. So that would be interesting. Of course, there's the Brick House is another place, 13 Steps, and the Boone Hall Plantation. All are haunted locations, and most of the ghost tours in Charleston take you there. Another place on the list that I really think that is not only a place to go because of its haunted history, but it's the nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, Florida. It is our nation's oldest city. And of course, they offer the walking tours, and they have a trolley tour like Key West does. They do a haunted bar or tavern tour. They also have this really cool tour that you can go on that is it's like kind of a self-guided ghost tour combined with a scavenger hunt. So you get to walk through town and do all of that while trying to find things on the scavenger hunt list. So I think that's pretty cool. They noted in there that, of course, this has Civil War history, and it has all of the other components that make it a great haunted location. So you have the Castillo Don San Marcos, which is this star-shaped fort. So just in Key West, you have Fort Zach, and then over in the Dry Tortugas, you have Fort Jefferson. Here's another haunted fort. There's a lighthouse there that is haunted, and you can do a night tour of the lighthouse. Can you imagine going up in a lighthouse at night and checking that out? Much like, unlike Key West, they shut down the lighthouse at dusk. You can then check out this one at night with a tour. That sounds really cool. And this one also has an old jail that is actually on the National Registry of Haunted Places. Did you know there was such a place? National Registry of Haunted Places. They have a Spanish military hospital that's a haunted location. Of course, the cemetery and the Casablanca Inn. Now, I just want to go to the Casablanca Inn just to say I've been to the Casablanca Inn. Obviously, our next stop on this haunted tour is New Orleans. It has every component of what makes it a cool haunted city. You have pirates, and you have voodoo, and you have history and water and all kinds of stuff. You can do a walking tour through the French Quarter. You can go on a ghost and pub tour. This is one that was really cool that I found. You can actually go on a ghost tour and use real paranormal equipment. Now, I've done that in Key West, and that is amazing. David Sloan's doing that over with the Robert the Doll Experience, where they're using the spirit box and all of that. But this tour actually lets you go out in New Orleans and use this equipment. So use the spirit boxes and all of the temperature gauges and all of that. So I think that's pretty cool. And of course, they also offer a bus tour if you don't want to do all the walking. There are some really cool places to check out in New Orleans outside of the obvious. But Antoine's Restaurant. Mr. Antoine started the restaurant back in the mid 1880s, mid 1800s, and he still supposedly takes in charge of the restaurant and oversees everything with the restaurant. You have the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans, which is Marie Laveau, and you can go to the cemetery in the French Quarter and see her gravestone. And sources say that if you knock 3 times, you get your wish. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, you have the LaLaRue Mansion, and Kathy Bates just played LaLaRue in American History, or what is that, American Horror Story. So that's where that genesis comes from. So New Orleans. So the last on our list of top haunted places that I think would be amazing to check out and kind of fits this island state of mind that we're always talking about is Savannah. Now, Savannah, if you're heading down to Florida from the East Coast, from that side, you're going to go through Georgia, and then you're going to stop off, and it's a sidetrack over to Savannah, but it seems like a very cool city that you all need to check out. They have this candlelight walking ghost tour, which sounds really cool. You can go on a trolley tour, just like you can in Key West. You can do a haunted hearse tour. This was the first place I saw that actually offered a haunted hearse tour. And of course, they do a haunted pub crawl. So that's a place to go. Some of the haunted locations, there was a ton of them. You have the Mercer House. You have a Fort Pulaski, and that is a Civil War fort. So it seems to be a common theme that we're seeing along the lines. The Hamilton Turner Inn, which was made famous in the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I don't know. Have you all seen the book or seen the movie? I read the book. I didn't get a chance to see the movie. I have it queued up now to maybe see it. But I definitely want to check that out and see how it's portrayed in the movie and in person. The most haunted hotel in the country is actually listed as the Marshall House, and it's in Savannah. You have the 1990 Inn, and ghosts are typically seen by residents there. The Pirates House, for obvious reasons. Pirates used to come through Savannah, and this used to be their watering hole. And this is the one that definitely that struck me as a place that all of us should check out, which is Moon River Brewing. It's the most haunted place in Savannah, and it is a brewery, an active brewery, and residents or guests or patrons of the brewery and employees of brewery have seen things there, so that makes it very cool. So we have the haunted side of Key West. You have the haunted side of New Orleans. You have the haunted side of Charleston, South Carolina. You have the haunted side of Savannah, Georgia. And what makes this all really cool is, I could have talked about Salem. I could have talked about Portland's another haunted city that gets a lot of press. But you know what? I wanted to keep it where all of us have kind of that kindred spirit on. Island state of mind. It's a place we can go. We can have, if you're in New Orleans, you go have a daiquiri. If you're in Key West, you hit Duval Street. In New Orleans, you hit Bourbon Street. In Georgia, in Savannah, you go hit, the downtown historic district. And it has all this vibe about what we all like. And it's moving us a little further south. So as we start to enter into fall, and we start looking at things to do and, maybe exploring the different side. Now, this is the really cool thing about the haunted side of any of these cities. It's not just simply this month in October. These tours go on year round. So if you want to make it down later in the year or early next year, you can still check out the haunted side. So it's not like a haunted house that's only around for Halloween. You can go check out the haunted side of everything. So I'm Michelle with Fun in Key West and Out of Here Travel. And I hope you enjoyed our little tour of the haunted side. And I think I've hopefully piqued your interest in checking out what the haunted side offers. You know, there's all kinds of tours you can go on. You can go on self-guided tours. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Working with David Sloan and coming up with the ability for us to get you out to see Robert the Doll and experience that at the East Martello in Key West. Then we can also help you with any aspect of any haunted location you want to check out. That's what we do. We're a full-service travel agency, and we want to make sure that you get to experience the haunted side of whatever you want to check out. Again, I'm Michelle with Fun in Key West and Out of Here Travel. And you know what? You can private message me. You can drop me an email at info@FunInKeyWest.com or drop us a text. I have all that information here below in this. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday. You know what? I've missed talking to you guys. I've missed hearing from you. So comment below. Tell me what you guys have been up to. It's been such a long time since we actually had a conversation. So hoping that you're going to be able to let us know what you're up to. Drop us a picture. Let me know what you're up to, how you've been, when you're ready to travel again. You know what? We're working with a lot of people who have postponed travel for obvious reasons. And now they're looking at, hey, you know what? I want to head out and experience something. And so we've been working with people who want to go on honeymoons, celebrate anniversaries, celebrate birthdays. And so they're checking out Key West, they're checking out Mexico, they're checking out the Orlando area. But like I said, you can also go to St. Augustine, the nation's oldest city, and it has a haunted side as well. If you like haunted houses, let me know your favorite haunted house that you like to explore and check out, or your favorite haunted city if it didn't make my list. So you all have a great Sunday, and thanks for stopping in and listening to our haunted tour. And I hope you all have a great week, and stay tuned. We've got lots of stuff coming up. Tell your friends about us. Have them join our Facebook group here, which is the Island State of Mind. If you are on our YouTube channel, which this is also broadcasting on because you're obviously not on Facebook, tell your friends to subscribe and check out our YouTube channel. Check us out. FunInKeyWest.com, OutofHereTravel.com, and I'm Michelle. So if there's anything we can do, let me know.